me, so recently I've been thinking a lot about just being a cellist, being a professional musician, what that means, and just like a lifetime what that means, and how we never stop practicing and we always are trying to get better. And I felt a little bit stale in my own personal practice, or even in my like motivation to practice. I'm always super motivated to practice for gigs or for events or for like a certain song or for a certain idea or a cover. I'm very motivated to practice, but I struggle sometimes practicing things for the sake of practicing them. And I've watched a lot of people that I follow online or that I know in real life that, recommit to practicing all the time, because we all struggle with this so much. And so I am doing that. I am recommitting to practicing the fundamentals and practicing for the sake of practicing, on top of whatever I need to prepare for gigs or sessions or whatever. So in hopes that it will help me stay motivated and on task, I've kind of really stayed away from the 100 days of practice thing. I thought about it a lot and been like, oh, that seems like just so daunting. Like, not that I wouldn't practice that much time, but keeping track of it and then looking bad if I missed a day or wasn't able to just post that day. Like, it just seems like a lot of pressure to not only get your butt in the seat to practice, but to also document it. That seems like a lot of pressure, but I think that I'm coming around to it, and I want to try it. And I've just decided that if I fail, I fail, but I'm gonna try to do it. So so I'm gonna do 100 days of practice, and so today is day 1. I also thought that it would be kind of fun to do kind of like a weekly theme for my practice, to give myself a goal that's short term enough that there's an end in sight and there's like a reason, like I'm gonna practice this, whatever that is for that week, to then be done with and like get it as best as I can, work it up as best I can, and then maybe play it. So maybe it'd be kind of fun to play what I'm working on at the beginning of the week and throughout the week, and then, okay, this is what, 5, 6, 7 hours on this thing equals. And that would be like the minimum, right? But yeah, so that's kind of my thought on this whole thing, and I'm just gonna go for it and see how it goes. And I'd love for people to like chime in or send me your videos, or cheer me on, because there's definitely going to be days that it's difficult, or like when you have a full teaching schedule and then a 4-hour gig, and then you get home at really late, 2 in the morning, and you're like, or getting up early those days, planning ahead to be able to have that time. My goal is an hour of dedicated personal practice time. So this is on top of anything else that I'm doing. Is what I'd really like to do, and I think it would be awesome growth as a musician, and as well as just giving myself something to work towards. So anyway, so this first week, I'm thinking that the theme is going to be warm-ups, because I'm very passionate about warm-ups. I've always been very passionate about fundamentals and basics and doing them slowly and well, and I call it cello yoga, and I do this a lot, but I haven't for a while. I've kind of gotten a little busy, and I've kind of let it fall to the wayside for the last couple of months, and so I want to get back into doing it. And so I'm just gonna kind of maybe take you through how I do cello yoga. I have a warm-up packet that I created maybe 4 years ago or so, 3 or 4 years ago. I took like every bowing exercise book and even some like etudes and technique books, and I just scoured them for the things that at that time I needed to work on, and I still need to work on. Like, it's just like basic stuff. So I have this warm-up packet that I put together. I can kind of share where these things came from. It's copyrighted stuff, and like I said, it's excerpts. from a bunch of different things, so I'm not really sure like the legality of sharing the packet itself, but I'll do some research and find out. So if you're really interested in the packet, I can at least list like page by page where everything came from. So if you own these things, you can like take a look at what I'm doing. So I've really liked it. So the first page is the first page from the Sevcik Opus 3 40 Variations, and I just always begin my warm-up with the theme. I think it's just like a beautiful song. Sometimes little melody. It's just something to get me going and get me started. Sometimes like I felt like if the first thing you start with is a scale, then sometimes you're like, I don't want to sit down and play a scale. And don't get me wrong, I love scales, but I actually find that if I start my practice with something a little bit more lyrical, it really helps me bring me into the musical sphere. So I play this theme, and depending on the day, I'll play it multiple times, and I'll play it in multiple ways. Like I might play it, I always try to start it out very clean, like very clean notes, very clean shifts, no vibrato, trying to hit everything. And like I said, I haven't done this for a while, but here it goes. So now that I played it kind of cleanly, no vibrato, no dynamics, anything, then I will do a kind of completely realized version with vibrato and dynamics. Sometimes I might only be really focusing on vibrato and having connected vibrato, but basically take it from the technical to the musical. So yeah, I start there. I play it a few times just to get warmed up and get feeling the cello. So then my next page is actually a page that I got from a teacher of mine. It's just all the 2 octave major scales. So basically every 3 days I switch it off. So I have scales, I have arpeggios, and I have, I guess every 2 days. So I always do scales, and then I alternate arpeggios or thirds, depending on the day. So I have a few pages here. I think some of them are from the Feuillard book. The arpeggios, thirds, yeah. So that's what they're from. Yeah. So, I don't know which one. I can look. Exercise 10, 11, and 12, and I just wrote Feuillard, so I don't know which book it is, but off the top of my head, like I said, it's been a long time. But I have it, so I can take pictures of all these things. So when I do scales, I usually play with a metronome, but my phone is the metronome. So, well, I guess I could turn it on in Foursquare. I'm gonna try that. So I have these files that I got from another teacher that they are the overtone series for each key, and I find that when I play my scales with them, it really helps tune in my intonation and my pitch quickly, and it's kind of a lasting thing. I find that if I do this, and I use it throughout my practice too. So if I'm playing another piece, I'll put it on in the key that the piece is in. But I find that this work really translates to a higher pitch recognition and honing in across the board. So I really, really recommend this. I probably need to find out. I can share this file. So if you're interested, yeah, I think it's not a big deal. I don't, someone gave it to me. I just have it on Dropbox, so I can just share the link. I don't own it. I didn't make it. But so I like to always start pretty much with C major every day, because I feel like that's what the cello really resonates most in. Open it up and get it all ready. So give it just a second. Well, there we go. I like to turn it up as loud as I can, but I didn't for this video so that you don't hate me. So see, I didn't even tune to it. Start half notes. Usually I start whole notes, but you know what I mean. Fingering, so pay no mind. Then quarter notes, 16ths, 8ths, triplets, you know, on down the line. I'm just gonna, for the sake of showing you, I'm gonna switch. Let's do D major. And I'm gonna do quarter notes now. When it plays. Like I said, I've kind of been a little bit bad at it lately, but I do find that the more I do this, the less slidey I get. You know, I don't need to slide those like minute slides into notes. I can just hit them. So I'm excited. I'm going to keep doing this all week and hopefully have something to show for at the end, but also then continue to do it forever, hopefully. Okay, so let's do one more scale. Let's do G, because that will be nice and pretty. I'm gonna do, let's do eighths. So that kind of gives you an idea of the scales. Then if I was going to do arpeggios, show you some arpeggios. I would do it with this also, always. With this, I'm gonna go back to C. This is what's the first one here. So you get the idea. I do that a lot. As many as I can handle. I think really the formula is 10 minutes for each thing. So 10 minutes scales, 10 minutes arpeggios or thirds, and then 10 minutes right hand and left hand exercises, which is what I have next. So the first thing I have left hand exercises and then right hand exercises. My first left hand exercise is from the Starker book. This is the position exercises, 4-finger position exercise, second position A. I really liked this because you're holding a double stop and then moving a secondary finger. So you're working on the strength of your hand, as well as intonation and relationships. So you have the A on the bottom that whole time droning, and then you'll go to the B flat and you'll move your way up. And then you'll go to the 3, and just speeding through this so I can show you. Dang it. That one's hard. Okay, so that one's kind of fun. I think it's really nice strengthening as well as coordination and intonation exercise all in one. So go Starker. Then I have this, this is from Tanya Carey's book. Oh, I forget what it's called now. I have it. I will post these things. But this is the excerpt from the Spinning Song by Popper, and it's I haven't done this in a while. I actually practiced this just a couple days ago because I pulled this out. And basically it's just like kind of chromatic. It's an excerpt, it's a practice excerpt from this song that I actually have never learned, but I knew I need thumb position every day when I made this, and so that's kind of where it came from. But I'm gonna try it one more time. Yeah, like that. So, and then it goes on and there's more, but that's why I put that in here, is because I need more left hand stuff. And the thing is you can, what I love about this packet is I have been using it for 4 years and I've never gotten bored, because I can like just pick through what I want to do that day. And there's like a lot of this stuff in here that I haven't even really like, I've done the first page of it, but I've never like mastered that. So I'm still working on it, which is cool. This next one, this one is definitely really hard. This is Sevcik Opus 8, number 47. It's thumb position shifting on the lower strings, because I was struggling with this, and I still struggle with this. I'm like hesitant to even play it for you because I've worked on this number 47 a lot, and it's really hard. My ear doesn't want to pick it up very well, and so, but basically what you're doing is then you're going up a whole step. I got these a new G and a C string from Guitar Center, because anyway, I just ordered them from there because they had them, and I don't think that they were within their shelf life, because the C just is, I mean, they're just so muddy. So anyway, excuse my terrible sounding, but that one's a really good one, and one I need to continue to work on personally, because I really struggle with it, and which is why it's in here. It's because I'm not good at it. And then I have a ton more exercises in that book, just all the way through exercise number 56, and I'll just kind of skip around. And yeah, it's all these like lower thumb position, not in what would normally be thumb position in other parts of the cello, which is something I really struggle with, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So yeah, so helpful, and I sometimes I tend to skip those more often than I should. So next left hand is again from the Schroeder. It's the 4-finger positions and the 3-finger positions. So it's basically wanting you to do the same thing, but it's just double stops. I recently put this on my iPad and it didn't copy over as well on this page, so I should actually go back to my original copy, and I need to like write in some, there's fingerings for each one, and I can't read them. So, and I think they're important. But yeah, that one's really nice. Then I get to right hand. This is again the Sevcik 40 Variations Opus 3. This is the same thing, but this is from the Tanya Carey. Oh, it's called Cello Playing is Easy. I really, really like this book. I was lucky to have it gifted to me when I was young, and I really read it, and I really love a lot of the practice technique stuff that she's outlined in there, and the way it's presented is just fabulous. So I highly recommend it. So this is just that same theme. But then there's some variations on it. Are you allowed to post bad playing on the internet? I don't know. I'm doing it. No, I just haven't played in a while, but it's helpful. And if you're doing the bowing the correct way, it tells you, you know, I'll play this at the frog. I think this is supposed to be kind of collé. Whole bow. Anyway, you got it. And this just goes on through several variations and paces. And then I get to, I have the Kreutzer bowing study in here, also from her book, but it's pretty much the same thing. It just has a little bit more explanation. So the Kreutzer bowing study, and this is something, it's funny, it took me like many years, I think the day that I realized like, oh, you play this and then you play all the variation of bowings, it was like, so the study is just a page of and obviously you can get this from the Kreutzer book also, but then you can change up the bowing. You might do a slur, slur 2, separate 2, you may do separate 2, slur 2. You may slur 4. You may slur 8. You may slur the whole thing. Just kidding. Good luck. And there's like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 different bowing variations that you can do, which is awesome. Then I also have her from the Schroeder, but Opus 31, number 16, but also from the Tanya Carey book, the exercises for flexible thumb and fingers. This I find really helpful. I've been working on this because I'm wanting to work up my Bach to maybe actually like do a recording in a video for YouTube. Woo. And so this is just working on that evenness. Stuff, but that one's really fun. And then I have, for more right hand, I've got Sevcik Opus 2 Part 1. This is, again, it's just sostenuto, kind of like a theme or like notes. They're all whole notes, double stops, some of them. And then there's variations for the bow. So it's like, oh, play it whole. Simple to more complex, so that's helpful. More right hand. This is, I think it's the same thing, it's just number 6. Sevcik Opus 2 Part 1, but no, that was number 3. This is number 6. It's another like theme and variations. Stuff to do, so you don't ever get bored. That's why I love this practice packet. Tons of variations there, and that's the end of the packet. So yeah, I will look up. I don't know if there's like issues with if it's something that's excerpted for educational purposes, if I can, or if I'll just like write maybe a list of like everything that's in here and where it comes from. Maybe it's not helpful to you at all. I really liked it. I feel like there's so much that I never get bored, and I always have something that's like, this is just like what I warm up. I just sit down and I open this file or open this packet, this is where I start with my practice, and I do 30 minutes, 10 scales, 10 arpeggios or thirds, and then, basically 5 minutes right hand, 5 minutes left hand, and then you're warmed up. And if you wanted to double that to be an hour, then you could do that too. So anyway, that's my warm-up stuff. I hope that's interesting or helpful. And mostly this is for me. I am going to be doing this week. I'll be posting videos of myself practicing these excerpts, so hopefully they will get better. So don't judge me too hard. All right, happy practicing.